World War II. In 1939, German named forces invaded Poland. England and France joined with other European countries to fight against Germany's advances. At the same time in the Pacific, the Empire of Japan began its own invasive attacks on nearby countries and islands. On December 7, 1941, Japanese planes flew across the Pacific Ocean and bombed U.S. Navy ships at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The next day, the United States and Japan were at war. The United States soon joined the war in Europe against Germany as well. More than 40 countries made up the allies that fought Germany, Italy, and Japan. Battles took place across Europe, in North Africa, and in Asia, and on many Pacific islands. Together, all these conflicts were called World War II. The Allies won the war when Germany surrendered on May 7, 1945, following the death of its leader, Adolf Hitler. Japan surrendered on September 2nd after the United States dropped two deadly atomic bombs on two of Japan's major cities. Chapter 2, Marine Boots Camp. In April 1972, Philip Johnston returned to the Navajo lands where he had once lived. Because of a lack of support from the US government, life there had become very difficult. The American states that controlled the Navajo lands did not provide enough electricity or telephone lines for the Navajo, and they did a poor job running the school systems there. When Johnston called for volunteers, more than 200 Navajo men showed up. Joining the Marines looked like an opportunity to improve their situation. It was a good job. Being a Marine could also be dangerous work, but the Navajo men believed that they came from a long line of warriors and they were ready to fight. Samuel J. Smith remembered that old man with bows and arrows came to the trading post and wanted to go to war and fight the Japanese to save their land. I had the same idea. I wanted to save our world. Without telling them what their job would be, Johnston chose 29 men who spoke both English and Navajo well. One of the young Navajo volunteers, like Jesse, was Chester Ness. He had grown up tending sheep with his family. In 1934, he had been sent away to a junior high school at Fort Defiance, Arizona, which had once actually been Navajo land. At the school, the teachers tried to train the Navajo not to speak their native language or to follow their customs. They forced them to speak only English. At the school, Chester first learned his birthday was in January 1921. Before that, he kept track of time by the seasons, not by months and years. He later went to high school in Tuba City, Arizona. He continued to learn English, but always spoke Navajo at home. Chester had heard about the Pearl Harbor attack in school. He later wrote, "We have been born to the warrior tradition. Like other Navajos, we saw ourselves as inseparable from the earth we lived upon, and as protectors of what is sacred, we were eager to defend our land." When he was 21 years old, Chester was accepted as a Marine recruit. His roommates at school, Roy Begay, was also part of the original group. Carl Gorman was 35 and that was too old to join, so he changed his age to 30 so he could get in. Dean Wilson was too young to join. In the Marines recruiting office, he saw his file on the desk. He slipped also paper that showed that his parents had not given their permission and threw it away. "That's how I got in at age 16, he remembered. Will CBC was just barely tall enough to qualify for the Marines. Eugene Crawford, William McCabe, and Harry Tusti was among the total of 29 Navajo men who were chosen. They got on a bus for a long ride to San Diego, California, where they would go through training called boot camp at Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. After Chester got to the camp, he was given uniforms and weapons. He was shown the bunkhouses where he and other Navajo Marines would sleep, and he met their trainers called drill instructors. At about 5 o'clock the next morning, the drill instructors woke up Chester and the other Navajo loudly. They burst into the bunk room, yelling and shouting instructions. Chester was very surprised. Navajo people rarely raised their voices. They spoke softly to one another. Life for the 29 Navajo at Camp Pendleton would be very different from life in the Navajo Nation. The Marines kept Chester and the other men to a very tight schedule. Every minute of the day was packed with work, training, or meals. The Navajo were not used to this, and it took a while to adjust. Also, in the Navajo culture, it is not polite to look someone in the eyes. In the Marines, it's a requirement. "Look me in the eye, Marine," the drill instructor screamed at Chester. He had to adjust to his new life quickly. It helped that doing hard work was nothing new. Most of the Navajo had worked all their lives, often outside.